What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Star Wars Zero Company. The game was officially revealed, and it's coming in 2026. Now, honestly, that was the biggest surprise. I really had thought / hoped it was going to be this year. You know what? That's okay, though. I'm not going to be too disappointed. This year's full. Next year, I think, is going to be a pretty big year for gaming as well. And here's the thing, what we actually saw from the trailer, I think the deeper things with this game were actually said, not really shown, because ultimately we know it's going to be an XCOM game. I think the trailer was great. Okay, the trailer, I think, set the tone, it set the time period for sure, and it set really the characters. But this game is going to be a whole lot deeper than just this trailer. And I will say, if there's anything that I'm slightly disappointed with this entire thing, is the gameplay was maybe 15 seconds at the very end. But at the same time, you know, we've seen some leaked pictures. I don't think the leaked pictures actually were from that trailer, so that was a little bit different. But, you know, you can get the gist of it. I think the two biggest things of this entire thing is the time period. So right at the end, right at the twilight of the Clone Wars, I think when we saw the leaked pictures and the leaked kind of info of this game, we thought it was going to be, and I guess maybe it's going to be slightly before we thought. I think a lot of us thought right after 3, right before 4, right? That kind of a golden age for sure. But you know what? The Clone Wars is also a golden age in between, and maybe it's not even between 2 and 3. It certainly sounds like it's right in the midst of 3, right as things are starting to wind down, right? So that's a big part to it. I'm a big Battle Droid fan. I mean, General Grievous is one of, if not my favorite Star Wars characters, but also just the droids I think are so freaking cool, and I don't expect them to be the only enemies, but to put it in this era, and then what they even showed with the gameplay trailer being against Battle Droids, I love that. Anytime you can fight against them, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I thought that was freaking sick that they threw that in, you know, found a way to kind of bring them into that. I'm always for that, right? So that was a big part to it, and I would probably say the customization. So, you know, they set it up and they show you your squad, and I think the biggest thing there is more about like the races or the species, right? That this is going to be a wide range. You can have Jedi, you can have Mandalorian, you can have droids, and those things are going to be things that you can experiment with, both in your kind of, I guess, loadout. And when I say loadout, I guess I mean like your cast of characters, right? Because you can swap them in and out to go on missions, but then also just how they look, you can customize that as well. So you can customize your character to kind of be whatever, and then everybody else, I believe you can customize to a certain degree. We know there's going to be, you know, choices and outcomes and stuff. I saw one article that talks about permadeath, that permadeath is actually going to be, it's not a requirement, like you don't have to play this game with it, but it's going to be there if you want to use it. And again, that goes in with the XCOM stuff, right? That's something I've been talking about with this game leading in, that this game is definitely not going to be for everybody, but it looks so freaking sick. And I don't know, I love the idea that they can do a Star Wars game like this. I don't know if I would play it personally on permadeath, just because I'm a pretty big chicken, and I don't like the idea that, well, I do like it, but I don't think I'm talented enough where, you know, if you lose somebody, you're freaking screwed. So you got to be very, very smart with it, and I'm not very smart with it. But you know what, that choice or having that ability or that setting in the game, I think is really cool. So, you know, I think I would have preferred to see more. I definitely want to see more gameplay, but you know, that's really just going to come down to the different locations you'll be doing, the different enemy types that you'll be fighting against, and maybe like your base kind of, you think about XCOM, you think about a lot of the like the resources and development of your own crew, and that's a big part of the game before you even go out and take on missions. You know, those are all things I imagine we're going to find out as we get closer and closer. So yeah, they didn't show as much as I thought they would / wanted them to show, but they got the point across of, you know, what type of game that this is, and it's a game that I'm totally for and can't freaking wait till it releases and until we find out more about it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.